All right, everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive? Today, we're tackling something that's, well, it's kind of the heartbeat of any business. Cash flow.
The lifeblood, some might say.
Yeah, exactly. We've got this really interesting article that breaks it down. But our mission today is to go beyond just the definition. We want to understand why cash flow is so crucial. It's like, imagine your body without a good circulatory system. Not great.
Not great at all. A business can't function without a healthy flow of cash.
So let's start with the basics. The article defines cash flow as, and I'm quoting here, the movement of money into and out of a business. Simple enough, right?
On the surface, yes. It sounds pretty straightforward. Money in, money out.
But there's got to be more to it, right?
Absolutely. The real magic happens when you have positive cash flow. That's when a business isn't just surviving, it's thriving.
Okay, so it's not just about like paying the bills and keeping the lights on.
Right. It's about having the resources to invest in growth, expand operations, maybe acquire another company. And crucially, it's about having a buffer to navigate those inevitable tough times.
So like a rainy day fund for a business. Makes sense. Now, the article uses Afterpay as an example, which I thought was a really smart choice.
Yeah.
Because, their whole model revolves around this idea of cash flow, right?
Yeah. Afterpay is a fascinating case study. They pay merchants upfront for customer purchases, but then they collect those payments from customers in installments.
So they're managing this constant flow of money in and out, but with this added layer of timing.
Exactly. The timing of cash inflows and outflows is crucial for Afterpay's success, and it forces them to make some really strategic decisions, like should they offer discounts for upfront payments to boost their immediate cash flow?
But wouldn't that potentially cut into their revenue from those installment fees?
That's the trade-off they have to constantly weigh. It's a delicate balancing act.
See, this is what I love about these deep dives. It makes you look at everyday things, like using Afterpay in a whole new light. It makes you wonder, are there cash flow needs influencing the deals and promotions they're offering?
It's definitely a factor to consider. And Afterpay is primarily in the business-to-consumer space, where these cash flow cycles tend to be relatively short.
Okay, but what about businesses that operate on, longer payment terms?
Right. Think about business-to-business transactions. Those payment terms can stretch out for weeks, even months.
So the cash flow game becomes even more complex.
Much more complex. Forecasting becomes crucial, and managing credit risk becomes paramount.
It's like instead of checkers, you're playing chess with cash flow.
A very strategic game of chess.
The article also mentions how positive cash flow is essential for growth, not just survival. Could you elaborate on that a bit?
Sure. Think about it this way. Let's say a company wants to launch a new product line.
Right.
That requires a significant upfront investment. Research and development, marketing, manufacturing, all of that costs money.
And without enough cash on hand,
they might have to delay the launch or maybe even scrap the whole idea altogether, and not just new products. Maybe they want to acquire a competitor or expand into a new market.
All of that takes serious cash.
Exactly. And without positive cash flow, those opportunities might simply be out of reach. It's like having extra fuel in the tank. It allows you to accelerate, to seize those opportunities when they arise.
But what about when things get rough? Like during an economic downturn or an unexpected crisis?
That's when positive cash flow truly becomes a lifeline.
So it's like a safety net too.
Think about what happened during the recent pandemic. Many businesses faced major disruptions. Supply chains were disrupted, demand plummeted, and there was so much uncertainty.
Yeah, it was a tough time for a lot of companies.
But the businesses with strong cash reserves, they were the ones who were able to weather the storm. They had that financial cushion to adapt, to pivot, and to make those tough decisions.
While others were struggling just to keep the lights on.
Exactly. Positive cash flow isn't just about keeping the lights on. It's about having the financial resilience to navigate those unforeseen challenges.
Okay, so just to recap, we've learned that cash flow is more than just money in and money out. It's about strategic timing. It's the fuel for growth. It's a safety net during tough times.
It's the very pulse of a business.
And it can reveal a lot more about a company's health than just looking at their profits.
Absolutely. Next time you hear about a company's financial performance, don't just focus on the bottom line. Take a look at their cash flow statement.
That's where the real story often unfolds.
It's a window into their true financial health and their ability to create long-term value. So keep that in mind. The next time you're reading a business news article, think about the cash flow angle. It might just surprise you.
Great advice. All right, everyone, that wraps up our deep dive on cash flow.
Until next time.
See ya.